Okay, so I decided to do the second game of the first video that you linked in your post, because it's bank for one, and because it was a close game, you guys lost, and I saw that you died 8 times, so you died almost every single round that you could have died in. So I'll pretty much be analyzing that and seeing how we could have fixed that and what we could do differently to not die, because the most important thing in this game is to not die, to live. And use your utility, essentially. So let's see how we go. I haven't seen any of this whatsoever. Like, the only thing I've seen was the very, very end. I skimmed through everything else. Let's skip through the bands here. Wait, what happened? Okay, so I saw this in one of the other videos I thought about doing. It looks like your OBS is, because I know you're using OBS, it isn't picking up your mic. So try and troubleshoot that, figure out what you need to do to fix that. I can't remember how I managed to make mine work. I think it's just because it's a default microphone. So I didn't have to change any settings whatsoever. But just do like test videos, test streams to make sure that it's picking up your mic, because if you are making calls, that's great, but I can only speculate as to what callouts you're making. If you're saying right there, I can't really help you. All I can say is, okay, I can see that you made a call out, so that's good, but what are you saying? It's one thing to make a call out, it's another thing to say the correct thing. It's great that you're making call outs, though. Don't think that if you're making a subpar call out that you shouldn't make any call out. Anything is better than nothing. Especially for teams or people that are aware of their surroundings and they're aware of what's going on around them. If they know your voice and they say, "Oh, I died on me," and they know who you were playing and where you were, then there will be conscious of that and notice who killed you. Well, they'll look at the kill feed, see which gun it was. Okay, they know who killed you and they know where they are. Simple as that. But I still recommend fixing this for, like, if you want to do like future videos, because I don't think the stream on any of them actually picked up your mic, so that's just another reason to do it, because then viewers will actually enjoy watching it more. But it looks like you tried to get Lion banned, which you're in copper right now, so Lion's always a good ban, but people don't know how to use him, so I don't know. And he's not hard to use. If you ever have a Lion on your team, simply saying, "Can I get a Lion?" is enough coordination to make him work, but people think that he's only good with Pro League teams, which is not the case whatsoever. And you're gonna ban Kevieta, which isn't a bad idea. In this elo, she is running rampant everywhere, so that's not a horrible idea to do that. And then who are they gonna ban? They're gonna ban Echo, which is on bank. That's not a bad ban. Miro probably would have been better. And we're just gonna go forward here. Oh, did you guys get a 4v5 right off the bat? Let me go back here. Oh, there he left. So he left the game. So now it's a 4v5. So you already had not a huge disadvantage. Keep that in mind. You can win a 4v5. I've done that before, from literally the beginning to the end, because my friend was an idiot, and this was when they were actually banning you on the spot for things you said in text chat, and he didn't know some things were banned, and someone got him to type stuff in chat that got him banned immediately. So we had to do an entire game 4v5, and we won it. It is possible, but you have to be prepared for it. You have to know your limits, but you should also keep in mind that the enemy team, since it's a 4v5, are probably going to be a little more aggressive. So prepare for that, if anything. And we have attack first. Let's see what we're going to get. And you have all the operators unlocked, which is good. Game is kind of popular among Italians. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Alright. And drowning phase, all we're looking to do, figure out where they are, put our drone in a spot that we can pick it up when we spawn in, or that will facilitate us entering into the building or the objective. Whether you want to go server, garage like here, or if you want to go up an open area. So now we see a mute jammer, so we should just get out. If that mute was a good mute player, he would immediately have shot your drone and you would have lost your information. So once you climb up out of copper, that's going to happen, and then you don't have a drone all of a sudden. And we're putting our drone here, but I hope, I haven't seen it yet, but I hope that you switch your spawns, because unless you come in garage, this drone is going to be useless to you, because you won't be able to get past the mute jammer. Maybe. You probably could, actually, with the radius that it has and how we placed it. But if we just leave it here, then it's worthless. There we go, now we're switching. No, we didn't switch, we're...
Be advised your drone has located a bomb. 5 seconds to insertion. Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
And it looks like we don't exactly know where the camera is outside. I don't know. Here, it looks like you have 150 FPS down here. So, and 140 up here is what it's reading for both of them. So, you do have a clear enough screen. That's just looking out more. That's just, again, 140. Steady 140. So you should be able to see that. I can see that on the blurry screen that I'm getting right now. Keeping that in mind while you're going forward. One good way to learn where not bulletproof cams, where just regular default cams are, go into a custom game, do a local, and just start on defense and just go on the cameras and swing through them. Just go through all of them, find them, and then destroy them. Like, simple as that. And do someone that doesn't have an ACOG either on defense, so that you really have to look for it. That'll help you better gauge where they are, and then you don't always have to rely on your ACOG to actually be able to see it. Because you looked around quite a bit there. Someone could have ran out from 2 different positions and killed you, and you wouldn't have been able to do anything, essentially. Unless you flicked really, really hard onto them. Good that we're droning in. We checked behind one desk, but not the other. We should check behind both. Alright, so we droned out square stairs skylight. Got the cam, which is good. So, at this point, what I'm wondering is, what are you planning to do? Because we're entering in the building just now. We pretty much are a minute and a half almost into the round. Half the round is almost done. We're in the building, which is great. But what are we gonna do? We haven't cleared out any downstairs, second floor, or not second floor, first floor. We haven't cleared out any of that. We have no idea if anyone's in open area, if they're playing in there. We have no idea if someone's playing in server, blue stairs, or if they're in server room down here. We have no idea what's going on. So, right when we take it here, we should stop, and then we should drone more. Because we're clear, we're safe right here. We have our teammates behind us, up on the same floor as us, so we're safe, relatively. We took out the cam, so they can't see us. If they want to actually kill us, they have to go up the stairs to kill us if we stand right here behind this pillar, because they can't get an angle downstairs, so they have to go up the stairs to kill us, which will give us ample amount of time to react to it from our drone. So we should just drone right here, figure out where we need to go, and do what we need to do, instead of continuing on like this. Yeah, it looks like your teammates are doing a garage push. Just got for Thermite. He's in main lobby. And Thermite's down there at the garage with them. So we should be droning this to figure out if there's anyone in there. We're kind of just wasting utility at this point because we don't know where anyone is, so we're throwing utility to try and enter in when we could just use a drone and waste none of the flashes and use, because now we don't have anything. We don't have our breaching rounds, our ranged breaching rounds, and we don't have our flashes, but we have a drone that we can use. We have 2 drones technically, because there's still one in garage that we just haven't touched at all. So like being better about information that we can possibly get, like you have a fresh drone it out. If you had droned out stairs when you're all the way up on square stairs, droned out stairs, droned out server room, destroy, like immediately seeing, okay, this is or barricaded off, destroyed the hatch, okay, drop down, sit behind server stack, continue my drone in, okay, there's no one actually sitting inside, so I can just shoot this wall out or shoot this barricade out, and then okay, I'm inside and now they can't do anything about it. And see if they have a rotation hole here, because we have no idea what they have in here. Keeping that in mind, we're about to peek this, and we have no idea what's in front of us whatsoever. So this is what I would call a dry peek, which is you're peeking something with little to no information. Yeah, there's set ways that you set up the site, but who's to say that they aren't setting it up that way? Keeping in mind that we are in copper, they probably don't have the quote unquote meta or correct site setup, so they could have a rotation hole on the far end. They could have someone sitting literally right in this corner, hard right of the door, and we wouldn't know that unless we drone. We have to drone. We have to know where they are. So let's see what happens. There's a rotation hole. We kind of just blurred past and didn't look at it. See, now if we had our flashes, wouldn't it have been nice to flash the rotation hole and just push in? Because now we have the utility. We would have had a utility to do it.
Must recover the diffuser.
I don't know if you have toggle aim on, but it kind of seems like you do, because you kind of just hold your ADS on for a long periods of time, and then you look around, and then you pull it off, and then you do something else. And now you're realizing, oh shoot, my drone's a long ways away, but your drone isn't a long ways away. You have one right there. Hit G. Or no, 5, that's what it is. G is grenades and such. So we're peeking this. We tried to get information. We realized, oh, our information's too far away. But we can still use our information. Like, you were about ready to do the right thing, and then you said, nah. We can't do that. And now we died because of that. And we didn't watch the kill cam. Yeah, he was up there, and we know exactly where he was, but we should probably watch the kill cam. Did he just get in there? Did he blow up at the hatch? Was it reinforced and then Habana was up there and she blew it? Or was Thermite the one that was up there and blew it? Like, what's going on? Figure out what's going on before you just do that. And remember when I said we don't know where anyone else is playing right now? We just know like first or second floor is clear. We don't know if anyone's playing in open area or if they're playing kitchen. Well, now we know he's playing in open area. So we should communicate that to our teammates. It doesn't look like we are. Yeah, Thermite's going after him now, but Finka needs to know that too. Finka doesn't know what's going on. She could have thought that you died from blue stairs or server. She has no idea.
10 seconds remaining. Good. 5 seconds. 4 last stop standing.
This is... She's actually gonna get it all.
Online and active.
So right now, we should be going on our own drone or someone else's drone. Figure out if there's any information worthwhile to use. Especially useful if you have a Dokkaebi. You don't have a Dokkaebi on the board. I think she was banned too. Yeah, she was banned. But if there's a Dokkaebi, then you could look at Defender Cam, see if there's anything useful there. But right now, just quick look at your drones, see if there's anything useful, and if there isn't, just say no information. Because then that tells them, hey, we don't have any drones, so unless you have something, we can't give you information.
Think he's coming.
Friendly, last operator standing.
So, Thermite decided not to say anything, so we should probably say something, in that she was in Red Hall. Well, Jail Hall was rather what I would say. But let them know. CC doorway. There we go. You said something. No idea what. Like, this is the thing. Like, how do I know what you were saying? You could have been saying anything. I have no idea. That's really late reaction time, but that's something that you just have to deal with. One thing that you could learn from the Finka here is she shouldn't have been in such a static position, because more than likely they have a Valcam on there, or they have a Mozzie drone on her. So she shouldn't be in a static position. She should be constantly moving, trying to get a new angle. And if you're in this situation, you should do this. If the bomb is planted, unless you're taking a super passive angle, like you're planted on the inside of the site, and then you walk outside and hold it from outside on a balcony or something like that, and a window or something, that's when you can take like a super passive angle. But this is a passive angle when you're in an aggressive position. Like, she has to move. If she doesn't, trial by elimination, she's in this corner. Like, I didn't get shot from the window. She's not there. I didn't get shot from, or as she's walking in, she didn't get shot from when she first walked in. She didn't get shot by the elevators. She's not over there. She didn't get shot when she came in by the big window. She's not there. Where does that leave her? Literally in this corner. All she has to do is pre-fire that door, and then she's dead. Unless this Finka can flick fast enough and kill her as she's moving through, or kill her while she's in this position with the fast enough reaction time, she's dying. So learn from her mistakes as well as your own. Don't hold a passive angle in an aggressive position. You have to move around. If she had walked outside, like say if she moved out into the elevator area, well, then she has to destroy the default cam, and there might be a val cam out there, but that's the risk that you have to take with that. But she can be in a lot safer of a position, more static, more passive position, while not having to be aggressive. Then she can be more aggressive with that because she's in a safer position. She can just hide in the elevator, and she has to go all the way over to elevator to kill her, or throw a C4 at her to kill her. So learn from her mistakes as well as your own. Yeah, she gets this. And we're taking a long time to pick between rounds. I don't know if you're like browsing something or on your phone or something like that, or if you're doing something else. I mean, one, you're streaming, so you should be interacting with the stream over anything else, because this is what, like, that's the point of streaming, is to interact with people as you're playing the game. It's not like if you're just uploading this as a video, I understand, but if you're streaming it, that's a different thing. So I'd recommend doing that just to make it more entertaining for people watching it. In terms of gameplay, it makes me question as to whether or not you actually are paying attention to the game. Right? If you're not picking operators for different sites, you're not thinking about it, and if you're just going to pick Ash again, you don't even know, you just let it auto pick there for you. What if you got someone like Glass, or what if you got Blitz or Monty or something like that? Imagine your worst played operator and you get auto picked that. What do you do? Like, do you throw the round? Like, you have to then rely more on your teammates to carry you through that round. Pay more attention to what's happening. Pick your next operator, then do something else. And then we're loading it in.
Drone has located a bomb.
And they went open area kitchen next. So one thing with Nook, I've been saying this to a lot of the last people that I've been analyzing their videos for, but Nook now is actually looking promising based on what we got on Pro League. For this site, she isn't too good, but she isn't horrible. The map in particular, Bank, it's really hard for her to move around without being notified of her position, simply because there's such long hallways that she can't make it through the entire hallway without being spotted. Excuse me. So think about where you're going to enter and how you're going to enter. She has a very, very weird playstyle. She has to sneak up on the attackers and like do weird and like stupid plays that shouldn't work with a normal operator. And And that's the weird thing with her, is that you play her differently than every other attacker. If you play her the same as other attackers, or even if you try and play her the same as like Cavaliera, then you're going to have a hard time playing her. She is not a flanking attacker. She is a surprise tactic attacker. You have to surprise them. You have to figure out where their positioning is and surprise them so that they don't, to the point that they don't even know what the hell killed them. So that's how we should play Nook. But considering that she's still very, very new and not a lot of people know how to play her, I don't know, like, this is just really still early speculation as to how to play her.
Five seconds to go. You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Alright, I don't like that because we droned out one position and that was it. We almost completely left out the front of the room here. All square stair skylight. Someone could just walk up and kill us. We punch the window, we're dead. Or they punch the door and we're dead, essentially. It's good that you droned out pretty far on this side, far enough to where you can enter in and then still have the advantage of surprising someone. But in front of you, like right in front of you, is kind of left unaccounted for. And again, it looks like you don't quite know where default cams are. And we're just kind of like, what are we doing here? Like, for one, we're staring at the ground. So if someone were to walk up square stair skylight and then come around, where would their head be? Their head would be right here. Look at where our reticle is. It's all the way down here. So even if someone came up here, we probably would die. Even if we had the surprise factor, simply because we have to react to them just as easily as they have to react to us. So it looks like we're not prepared for anything, and we're surprised by anything that could happen to us. And we're not droning. Like, go into janitor and just continue droning. Where do you want to go? Like, right now, I have no idea where you want to go or what you want to do, because this entire area is pretty much cleared out by your friends, by your teammates, I should say, simply because they're holding their position down here in open area hallway. So we should just recognize this. I don't know what we're staring at there. And we're still creeping around. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, we're creeping around trying to surprise someone when there's obviously no one else to surprise. Our teammates are sitting right here. Unless someone's going to be sitting with them and shooting their own teammates with your teammates, then there's no reason for us to be crouch walking around like this. And our teammate's in front of us. We know that he's in there, but we're just not aware of it. Yeah, there's like a leaves, debris or something that goes through walls. I don't know what that is, but it is annoying every now and then. Now there's a mirror window. We just kind of don't react to the mirror window. They probably know exactly where we are. See, I don't like this because remember what I said, that you use her as a surprise operator? You're kind of doing that, except you're doing it in the worst possible way. You're dry peeking it and expecting to get kills by doing this. if you had droned this, figure out, okay, there's someone playing over in this corner. There's two people playing behind this mirror window, and there's someone playing like far back in open area. Oh, excuse me. Well, then now all of a sudden you can actually peek it and surprise them by them not knowing when you peek because you're so fucking quiet. You don't get spotted on cameras. You can peek it without them knowing essentially, and you get free kills. Right now you're peeking it and crossing your fingers that you have a better reaction time than them. Guarantee that you have the better reaction time by knowing where they are. We're just kind of sitting here, we're just waiting to die. Yeah, we have 20 seconds left. 25. We have no idea. We know where Doc is. We have no idea where anyone else is. Zero idea. We don't even know confidently who their other operators are, I don't think. Like, well, what's the point in trying to be, I guess, sneaky there? Because they have a mirror window watching you. If you don't think there's someone else behind the mirror window to your right here, then I don't know what to say, because they know where you were last, so they're gonna be looking at you.
15 seconds. We have been eliminated.
And there you go. And more time of you not doing anything, and then picking an operator at the very last second. You knew who you wanted to pick, but you picked her at the very last second. Thinking about our teammates as well. What if they wanted to have a specific operator and they're asking for it, and then you're just like, oh, I'll just expect someone else to have it, someone else to pick it, whatever. And you wait, so you're just sitting there waiting, and then everyone is expecting you to pick because you haven't picked an operator, so they expect you to pick the filling operator, and then you pick something completely different, like a Nomad or an Ash. Then that gets into the problem of team play and not coordinating with your team and trying to play this entirely with zero help from your teammates, which you shouldn't rely on.
Your drone has found a bomb.
So now we know that they have a Frost, they have a Mute. So we should tell them that one of the unknown. Whoops, if I go back. So we know who the last two unknowns are. They're Vigil and Frost. Because we saw Frost, and then we just heard Vigil CC.
5 seconds. You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location.
Why do we keep putting our drone in a position that doesn't help us later in the round? Last round, we put it down here, and then we just didn't touch it. We just didn't go for it at all, if I remember correctly, unless it got destroyed. I think it didn't get destroyed, and we just left it down there. And we didn't use it at all for the rest of the round. Now, it's all the way over in main lobby office, small office, and how do we know if we're actually going to use it or not? Are we going to go all the way over to those windows and jump in right there? Not a bad idea. But unless we do, then I'd almost guess that that's another wasted drone that we have. Alright, good that we're droning that out. But there's like, I would count 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 different hiding spots that we just didn't look at. I have no idea if someone's in there. They could be moving not at all. not making any sound whatsoever, and you don't know that they're there, and they can kill you now. Because unless you have the better reaction time, a lot better reaction time, you're gonna die. But it's hard for me to tell you where those are. I can tell you one is right here, another one was right here. You didn't draw on that. It'd be back in small office. They could have literally been anywhere in small office. So we'll count that as an entire 4. Then 5 is back behind here, and then you didn't really look all the way in the back of the room. They could have been hiding behind another cubicle. So there's 6 different spots that we just didn't look at. We looked at the main area here. We looked in kitchen. Whoa. We looked in kitchen, looked down there, see if anyone was in there, and then we drove our drone down here, and then we looked in main lobby hall, or open area hallway. And we looked in the main area of open area, but we didn't look in any of the positions, the strong positions that you could use. We didn't look behind this desk. We didn't look behind the other desk. We didn't look behind the far right one, the far or close to right one. We didn't look behind small office or in small office at all. We're just expecting it to be clear. And then if something happens to us, whoop-de-doo.
Airjack planted. Ready to go.
So now we did such a good job of droning up into this position. Now continue doing that. Get into a safe position in small office. Well, one, we should destroy the cam too. I don't think we did. Get into a safe position within small office, or open area, I should say, and then continue droning. Because right now we're just a sitting duck. We don't know where anything is. Oops, there we go.
My air jab is deployed.
Yep, there's a camera. So we did not destroy it. And now we're actually, this is the first time that we've used our second drone within the round. And then, oh, this is funny. I like seeing this. You look behind. Don't be these guys. None of these guys have used their drone. They're just crouch walking in and doing what you've been doing, which is crossing your fingers that you have a better reaction time than your enemies. If they all droned in, they'd be all the way up to teller's doors, figuring out how to attack the site and going out from there. They're like, you guys are trying to figure out how to attack site within the last minute to 30 seconds when you should be figuring that out within the first 30-minute and a half of the round and not the last 30 seconds of the round. Like, everyone is just probably, like, they're all just following your drone and expecting you to drone them in. But we should have called that out. Like, there's no reason for us to not call that out at that point. And we die.
Here we go. Stay back.
And if we had waited, Thermite could have gotten that. We could have asked the Thermite to breach that wall initially, because then the wall is gone. Doc can't hold that position anymore. He's either a really, really easy kill, or he is just out of position, and now he has to fall back. Either way, it benefits your team. Instead of you just peeking it and most likely dying. See how no one has any idea what to do right now? You have no drones, no information. You have no idea where anyone is on site. Even if you wanted to know, you couldn't. You could have played vertically too, by the way. Who are you? You were Nomad. Don't know if you did have breaching charges or not. She can still bring them. Yeah, she can. You could have played vertically. The entire floor is destructible for the site. So, or the ceiling, I should say, is destructible. So learn a vertical play. And now they're just waiting for the enemy team to get tired of waiting and peeking them. Looks like you're making a call out. Again, I have no idea what it is.
Last operator standing. 15 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining. The diffuser is no longer in your possession. One friendly operator remaining.
That visual could have just won that round, like easy, if he had just, here, if I back up just a smidge. If this door was open, because you guys didn't come through here at all, a lot of teams, once they figure out where you're pushing from, they'll open up the other side of site so that they have a way to rotate out of it if need be. If he had rotated out and just ran all the way into the far corner here, held out a CZ, and just tried to pre-fire the line as he tried to go through him, you lost the round. Just plain and simple, you lost it at that point. So that's very, very lucky that Lion got that kill, and very, very lucky on your entire team.
Remaining. Op 4 neutralized. Mission successful.
This 4v5 so far has been very, very winnable. And especially on attack for Bank too. It's going to be a lot harder on your defense, but seeing how the game is going, it seems like you guys are actually going to do better on defense. Excuse me. Good job picking Doc for upstairs CEO defense. It favors ACOGs due to its long angles, so having 3 ACOGs on the board is not entirely uncommon.
Protect the bombs.
Stop worrying about my needs.
Bomb location compromised. Plan accordingly.
AD is active in this sector. Evil eye deployed.
Try to hipfire drones more often, unless you need to shoot it from a long distance. Hipfiring them will actually be more likely you're going to kill them because just of the spread. It's not going exactly where your reticle is, it's just in an area.
1 year, 5 seconds, place!
Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Reinforcing the wall!
It looks like you're trying to say something now, no idea what. You don't remember that you already picked up armor. We still have 1 barbed wire left. Only 2 walls were really reinforced. Yours and Jaeger reinforced something, so maybe coordinating with our team saying, hey, can I get a reinforcement here or here? Because we have no idea how site is set up right now. There probably isn't even a rotation into janitor for us. And now we hear someone repelled on the windows. One thing that we should do too is when our teammates do kill people, especially on defense, is asking them who they killed. Because let's say that he killed Hibana right there. Well, then that's limiting how much hard breach that capabilities that they have. If you listen to all the guns, you figure out who they have, or you spot everyone, and you figure out, oh, they don't have a hard breacher. That means if they want to get in here, they have to come through this door, which is in banana to, what is that, console office? Or no, it's lounge is what it is. Or they can open up janitor because we left janitor unreinforced. There's no rotation hole, so no one's holding in it, so they can just come through there. But it's understanding where they can come from then. And they have a glass, who's probably on the windows as well. I don't like where we're having a reticle too. We're kind of having on hard wall, so we don't know exactly where people are. Also, someone is in, if I heard that correctly. Yeah. Someone's inside CEO. So we should probably tell our teammates. Yep. And then a call comes out that she's inside.
Seconds left. 10 seconds left. 5.
They must not have diffuser. Although they do have diffuser, there you go.
Located.
Where inside? Inside the site for this map, since they don't have any control, is the entire top floor except for this hallway. Like, if you cut a hole across from everything, imagine all of the different positions that you could be holding in this point. They could be on the windows for one, or even parking garage windows, and you have no idea. So just yelling through text chat that they're inside helps your team not at all.
Diffuser, destroy it. One friendly remaining. Op 4, last op.
Now I know there's one behind. So we know where he is. We should tell him he's in the hallway. Specifically, where in the hallway? Because Jaeger was right behind us.
Located the diffuser, destroy
Hey,
it.
he's sitting right there, right next to us.
One friendly remaining.
And he's out in parking garage windows. Or in a skylight or something like that. Or even downstairs in the main lobby. So he's far away from us at this point.
Op 4, last operator standing.
So, letting him know, hey, he's not in sight would be nice. Because he's wasting his time checking all these angles when he doesn't need to. There you go. Communicate to our team. Even if it doesn't seem like it's super relevant, communicate to them.
Disable the diffuser. Mission successful.
Because sometimes, like this guy, he isn't fully aware of what's going on around him. Jaeger died right behind him and he just didn't react to it. He had no idea. I do like that it seems like your team is against going downstairs too, which is good. And it looks like you're going to pick someone at the very end here again. Yeah, you must be doing something else, and then you just hear the sound, and you start trying to click as fast as you can, and you get Valkyrie now. You were trying to get Doc, and you got Valkyrie, so now you got an operator that you didn't ideally want to play.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Plan your defenses accordingly.
Activate jammer. Stay clear of ADS line of fire. Jammer deployed.
Five seconds and counting.
Speed up and running.
I don't really know how useful that cam can be. And we took a lot of time to get to there. Be decisive of where you want to place your cams, because right there, that cam can tell you what their positions, if there's anyone in archives, or tell us if they're rotating through there. But apart from that, it's not a whole lot of information. And it's very obvious that there's a camera there, keeping that in mind as well. And now we're into the round. We have two of our cameras. We're gonna get one in main lobby.
Initiate jammer.
I just realized this is open area kitchen. Probably one of the worst sites that you could have gone. If you were paying attention, you could have steered your team in a different direction by just saying something. Hey, can we go this site instead of this one? None of the hatches are reinforced. There's a shield inside now. And at that point, what I would have done, they would have just thrown a cam to the back of site, like way back there, so they have to take time to shoot it, and then look to see where they are. See if there's anyone actually inside this little area here. If there isn't, then you don't have to worry about it. If there is, well, then you can C4 them, or you can
C4 deployed.
shoot them through the wall. Peeking this again is borderline suicide. And he came in from behind us anyway. So we should tell him kitchen, because it doesn't look like Mute knows that Hugh just died from kitchen. There's a call. I have no idea if that was kitchen call or not, but either way, that was really, really late. Like right when you see that kill cam and you know that they're behind you, well, they can either be above you or they can be right next to you in kitchen. So kitchen, kitchen, kitchen.
From A, Daybreak, and Matanya.
One friendly remaining.
No. No. If you want to give up that easily, then you shouldn't be trying to get out of bronze or copper at this point. Like, you won't get out of copper if you're gonna give up like that. These are very winnable rounds. There are very basic mistakes that you guys are making that can be fixed very, very easily. And surrendering like this isn't going to teach you anything. What is this going to teach you? It's going to teach you, okay, that sucked. I didn't play as well as I thought I did. Move on to the next one. Or more than likely, you're going to think, okay, we lost because it was a 4v5 and there's nothing that we could have done about it. There's a lot of stuff that you could have done about it. There's a lot of stuff that I've talked about so far that if we go back here, where are we at here? 48 minutes worth of time that you guys could have fixed this and rectified it out of how much time of gameplay? Like 20, not even 20 minutes. Yeah. About 20 minutes, actually. About 20 minutes of playtime that you could have rectified. So I'm happy that they denied the surrender because this is very, very winnable.
Op 4 is defusing
Kind of
the
shame
bomb.
on you, slap on the wrist for not seeing that yourself. Even in this position, the Jaeger could take backside. It's very, very difficult, but it's not impossible. And more importantly, we put up our utility and we're Valkyrie and we're not looking on our cams. Like, we didn't even put up all of our utility as Valkyrie, keeping that in mind. We still had one camera when we died. But we should look to see what's going on. And I know that you got 7 kills at the end of this, so I'm expecting, like, was it round 4? We got 4 rounds down. This is round 5, and there's going to go all the way to 9 rounds. So you're going to get a decent amount of kills for the next few. This is good that he's rotating through, but like I said, if we had looked in our cam through Teller's archives, we could have said Teller's archives clear. Then he can just run through even quicker. He doesn't have to use the extra processing power in his brain to figure out what is clear, what isn't. If we had a cam in far back open area, we probably could have seen a position of where Maverick was.
We're eliminated. Mission
Let's see
failed.
where he actually was. Possible to see that. If we had it in the far back corner, far back, would that be? It's be like not this corner of kitchen, but like if this was open area, and then here's that wall that splits off, and then here is kitchen, and here he's like right here. If we had a camera in the far back area over here, we probably could have had a line of sight on him, or at least seen him walk in there and say, hey, he's in kitchen. He's not behind the counter, because there's a giant counter right here. He's not behind the counter, because we could see if he crosses, so he has to be on your hard right when you walk in there. Granted, there could be someone else far back here or over here that could have been shooting, waiting for him to come in, and then he's now playing the passive angle, or he's playing the aggressive angle. They're both playing an aggressive angle, but the one back here is playing more passively in a passive position, but he's playing aggressively, so he can get out of the way if need be, whereas he's playing passively in an aggressive position, so if he dies, it's a lot worse for him. It's a lot harder for him to get the kill, essentially. But you see how using our utility could have won us this round? And now we're on match point. And more time of us not being, oh, hey, we actually got it before. We will surrender if we are gonna get, what the hell? I don't think that you can surrender once it becomes match point, by the way. Or not match point, but once it becomes overtime. If it's overtime, you can't surrender. You can only surrender after the first 2 rounds have passed,
Secure the bombs.
and everyone has to agree on it.
Secure the bombs.
I have no idea what that guy's saying, but I guess he's trying to say we're not gonna surrender if we know we're not gonna lose. And we're going downstairs. Not the best place to go. I probably would have recommended Teller's Archives. It's a little bit easier to defend with 4 people, in my opinion. Versus basement, where you have to use almost all of your reinforcements. And since you don't have one person, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to pick and choose which reinforcements you're going to have.
Down to 5 seconds. Bombs by Op 4.
It looks like we're going to hold blue stairs, which isn't bad. Hey, maybe if we got Jaeger to come and give us an ADS there, then we would have been able to hold this even more effectively. I don't agree with that, though, doubling up the utility, because you're just rolling the dice and crossing your fingers that they are stupid and just throw their drones through it. Use Mozzie as you would a mute, essentially trying to treat it as a mute jammer. It's just to deter drones. It's not to jam them or capture them. It's to deter them from joining an area. And then we don't have a pest behind us, keeping that in mind as well. So what if they drone up behind you? Then what are you gonna do, hotshot? It looks like Legion is watching behind us. That's nice. And we're also, we should be aiming, like, this is something that, like, overall, I'm gonna mention this at the end too, but aim head height. Like, there's no reason for us to aim, like, you're not even aiming crouch height. Crouch height is like right here. You're like aiming in between it. So either way, whatever way that they peek, you have to flick to their head. Like, there's no middle ground when it comes to this. You go for one or the other. Ideally, head height, because most people will peek at head height. They might crouch down once they peek over, but they won't crouch peek. They won't go the full peek going crouch. Or they'll go be prone waiting for you to peek them, but that's a whole nother story. But you should be aiming, ideally, at head height. And then if you know someone's going to crouch peek you, then do crouch height. And then if someone gives you the call for prone, then prone. Otherwise, you should just flick down to their head. But aiming where we are right now is like the worst place that we could be possibly pre-aiming at this store. And now we're leading the wrong way. I don't know if you could tell. I could easily tell that's the wrong way. So that's like what we should do. Like looking at this, one way that you can remedy this very, very quickly is just go in and do classic T hunts, just run and gun through every single doorway that you peek through, lean into it. Lean into the doorway to peek through it. You will instantly tell if it's right or not. This looks entirely wrong to me. You should be leaning left, not to the right. So fixing this will happen really, really rapidly. Like it'll get to the point where you're just, without even thinking about it, leaning the right way.
Be advised, Op 4 has located a bomb.
So now we know that they're actually below us
Giving them
because Legion killed someone. One thing that wouldn't be bad actually is if we go through, stay on this camera, just sit here on this camera like this, because we know Legion's behind us. He's watching it. So unless we hear someone get stung by a goo, or if he dies, well then we can get off our cam and go down there. Otherwise, we have free information as to if anyone's going to come down here. Why would we get off the cam here? We don't have anyone to watch it for us, so that kind of sucks, but we could just sit here, sit on the camera. There's no reason to get off of it. And now we're going to go down.
it'll sting a lot.
And back up. And down. It's like we're indecisive as to where we actually want to be.
We should see scores. That's a drone for us.
So, get on the drone, turn it around, see where they are. Drone it out a little more, see if they're actually getting close. Because you didn't hear it, I didn't hear it, they didn't get off their camera. So they're nowhere immediately within the vicinity so that they could kill us, so they pre-fire us immediately. So get on your drone. Yeah, there you go. Now we know where they are. Doesn't matter if the drone dies or not, because we know where they are. Again, I wouldn't recommend doing this. Because what if they drone us behind us? What if we had put a drone over in garage? Then whoever just died, Maestro, maybe they didn't have the information on him and he could have gotten his kill. Like, we're putting all of our utility in this.
Loading new magazine.
Op 4, last stop standing.
So we should tell our teammates where they are. We know where the last one is. Blue stairs, square stairs, skylight. Top of blue stairs basically is all you need to say. So tell them that. Because if you don't, then that's just more time that they are sitting there wondering where the fuck is this last guy. And it looks like he ran away.
Mission successful.
Oh no, Jaeger killed him. I thought Jaeger killed someone downstairs. This is another thing where it's just like, hey, if you're the Jaeger in that situation, you should tell them Ying's dead. Because it's very obvious that they don't know what's going on, so tell them Ying's dead. Now you don't have to worry about anything. Learn from your teammates' mistakes. Say something. If you want them to go downstairs, say something. You also want upstairs, keeping that in mind. But you've already used voice chat. Like, I know you've used voice chat, so just say it. You know? There's no reason to not.
You can stop worrying about grenades now. Deploying ADS.
Swapping.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for assault. Bomb location compromised. Plan accordingly.
Secure the floor!
10 seconds left.
CP-28 up.
5 seconds.
Yeah, it almost looks like you have your aim on toggle instead of
Bomb
hold.
located by Op 4.
It's good that you're going after the drones, though. You're getting rid of the information that the enemy team has available to them.
Window barricade! Setting barricade!
That was close.
Test out.
Because someone just destroyed the camera above us.
Test is ready.
I mean, so far that's just been a bad C4 placement. You're playing this very passively, which is good. You're not sitting on the stairs. You're like playing back and forth between server and server stairs, which is what you want to do. They know where you are. They know how to kill you. So it's best to stand back a little bit. So now we know Jaeger's preoccupying their time. So one thing that would be good, it looks like you're doing it too, is to push up here and to pressure them again, because instead of getting pressure from one angle, they're getting pressure from two. Not bad. It looks more like you got that's complete luck. No, it's right above you. So now both your pests are gone. Open area hatch is open. And it's Maverick that's in there. So now you can't rotate back to site. Yeah, and then, see what I mean by, like, you did it again here. Where are you aiming? You're just below crouch height, and you're not even at prone height. So, like, you're not aiming at anything. If you're not aiming for a one-shot kill, you shouldn't be aiming. You should just be hip firing at that point, especially in this close quarters. But you don't want to hip fire because then you're relying solely on chance. So aim higher than what you are. Either, again, crouch height, or be way the fuck up here, head height. Well, actually, head height for where he is would be about right here. But aim where their head is. You lost that gunfight simply because he headshot you. Well, no, you didn't even have to headshot you. It was literally one shot and you were dead. You got the first, like, 2 shots off. So if you had been aiming at head height, he would be dead. And you would have won that gunfight. And then you live longer, and now it's a 1v3. See how much health he has? And you're gonna, I'm guessing that's saying, like, oh my gosh, this BS, he has no health or whatever. Yeah, see? One shot and you were downed. And no one's watching, what would that be, A? Like, they have A control, essentially, because they open the hatch. They have server. So
15 seconds.
what do you get? Like, what happens if they plant? Which they're probably going to.
10 seconds left.
There's one.
1 on 4.
And there's 2.
Friendly's victorious.
There you go.
Hostiles
It looks like he kind of made that call, too, that they have. Not yet. You were the one that started the surrender. Need I remind you? If that's kind of a, oh hey, we're not losing yet. You started it, so remember that. And now you have your attention because you're one round away from winning, closing it out, and you really, really want to win. So now you're thinking about where they could be, who you want to pick for an operator, and how you're going to attack.
Drone to locate a bomb.
More than likely they are going to go downstairs. Well, either downstairs or open area kitchen, because they won open area kitchen very, very easily. Probably the easiest out of all of the sites. Yeah, the easiest out of all of them. Downstairs kind of came
Drone has
close,
found a bomb.
and they went all the way downstairs. And now we're just AFK, doing nothing. Now we're going in.
Be advised the drone has
Over
located a
half
bomb.
of the prep phase is done.
10 seconds before insertion.
Oh, they have a clash. Ooh. So
Insertion in 5 seconds.
5v4 and they bring the clash out. That's just saddening.
You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
I'd almost say your sensitivity is a bit too high. Like just a smidge too high. Because it seems like you're moving it around like barely at all and you're moving it very, very quickly. So maybe looking at that. You're not doing the classic when you're walking around, you're not like doing this like as you're walking with your mouse. Like you are keeping it relatively smooth as you're walking, which is good. It's just right when you spawn in, like you kind of go like, ugh, there's the camera, you know what I'm saying. If we go back here,
Bomb. You found a bomb. Make your way to
yeah,
its
see, it's
location.
like, there it is, like you're kind of swinging around and then you find it and then you shoot it. But like I said, it's just a smidge too high for how you're playing anyway. Now we know where Vigil is. So our mistake there was taking way too long to actually pre-fire it. We should have seen it. We should have instantly started pre-firing it. He has the boss G is what it looked like on there. So he has one shot to really kill us, and then like a half a second, and then another one shot to kill us. So do that as quickly as possible. It looks like you're fat fingering your T. I don't know what you use to get out of your drone. If it's escape or if you're using 5. There you go. Good job kind of reading into that, knowing that he's probably going to peek again because he's being aggressive. So now, kitchen is boarded off. Open area is boarded off. I would have gone back into small office, droned in there, seen if there's anyone in there or anything. And then we can tell him, hey, everything's boarded off. Like, the top floor is basically clear, But we're not droning in small office. Like, these are the things that'll get you killed really, really quickly once you climb up in rank, because there's going to be people hiding in unsuspecting places that you just don't think about, and you're going to have a better reaction time than them to win. And from what I've seen, it doesn't look like you have a better reaction time than a lot of people. You kind of get a little bit lucky on the kills that you get, but you do have a decent reaction time. I would have kept it closed, put a nomad charge up there, kept it closed. Like put it up on top of the doorway here, so that if someone does open the door, they have to go through the thermite or the nomad charge as well. That way, it's just more precaution for your team to come in there. Right now, your push is pretty much going for hatches, unless you're trying to coordinate them to go for a default plant spot. But we should probably drone it. Also, they can shoot that from the stairs, so it's not the best placement. Try and... Here, go back a little bit. Try and place them above doorways, your air jabs, above doorways and windows, because if you place them at the floor or on the sides like this, every gadget in the game has 1 HP. Even thermite charges, drones, everything. Nomad charges included. So if they throw an impact charge and they hit it like right in the center of the doorway, it's going to hit, the blast radius is going to encompass like pretty much the entire door except for the top third of it, I would say. So any bit of this blast radius that deals damage is going to destroy any gadget. So it's going to destroy this nomad charge even if they don't shoot it. So if you place anything, any nomad charges, try and place them higher on doors and windows than you would for like a claymore, because then it's less likely that it's going to be destroyed. Let's continue here. He's kind of mumbling into his mic. And like you keep doing this thing too where you drone out where you want to go, you figure out okay it's clear, and then you go in and then you just peek the next angles without droning. And again, that's gonna get you killed very, very quickly. Like this is good, we're droning it out, but we could have died from blue stairs just from peeking it if we didn't have as good of reaction time. So now we know Clash is in server. What can we do? Well, we have flashes. Yeah, I would try and bait her into the... Looks like that's what you're kind of trying to do. I would drone it out a little bit more. Figure out if there's anyone with her, because if there's someone with her, then you just have to worry about that a little bit more. But literally just try and bait her into you. Yeah, there you go.
Coming.
See, the worst part about knowing what's going to happen is I know that you guys lose this 2v4, and I'm going to say it's going to start with this right here. Drone it. You have no idea where they are. If you know where they are, drone it, then you can push them without, or pre-fire them and not die.
I have you covered. Stay close.
15 seconds remaining. 4 last operator standing.
Right. Off my...
Op 4 eliminated all friendlies.
You guys, like, overall, together as a team, are just not... You're pushing together, which is good, except for you. You're kind of going off on your own a lot of the time, which isn't bad. It makes it so you have more two-dimensional pushes instead of a one-dimensional one, and everyone's not crouch walking together. But you guys just aren't droning it. Like, if you had droned it, figured out their positions in sight, gone in there, killed them, there you go. Move on. Next round. You guys spent so much time just sitting there and waiting for them to get tired and peek you, or to just slowly crouch walk to sight, that you lose it because you don't have any time to actually execute a plan. And now we're on defense, and where did we decide to go? Looks like we're gonna go top floor, which is good. You guys did win it. A little bit of luck with that win, but not horribly lost. We should bring ACOGs. Because of the long angles, as we could see that glass was on windows, so having that would be useful to us. We have a Maestro at least, so that's good.
Secure the bombs.
Son ADS.
ADS deployed. Ready to go.
Focus. Play smart.
Advise
Spoken
the
like
bomb
a
location
true
has been
sieger.
compromised.
Reinforcing wall!
Op 4 has located a bomb.
So we know
Plan your
Jaeger
defense
might die within the
accordingly.
first 10 seconds of the round, I would say.
10 seconds left.
It looks like you're just fat fingering your text chat. It must be somewhere close to where your keybinds are. You might have moved it off of T, or maybe moved
Op
it
4 has located a
somewhere
bomb.
else
Be ready for
because it's
hostile
just
action.
causing you so much trouble.
Test deployed.
Actually, not a bad test. They have to push all the way up into the hallway to kill it. And you can still snag drones from the hallway. I'm actually going to use that. Never thought about that before. Just heard a breaching charge. Or the speech charge, I guess. So I don't like this. For one, we're sitting like super close to this cover here. So for one, just us being close to it, they're gonna see more of us before we see them. They're gonna see like our shoulder and then maybe our toe or something, and then we're gonna see them. So one, back up a little bit when you're peeking an angle like this. Just bring it back a little bit. And two, you have the information. Stand the hell up and peek them. Pre-fire it. Like there's, I don't know why you're like people like this are. I don't know why people just play passively like this. Um, yeah, you can play passive because you can get the hell out of there before they can kill you, really. If you miss, that is. But just stand up and peek them. They don't have any information on you. You didn't see a drone in there. They just fused the room, so any drone that they could possibly have is gone. So stand up and peek him. Like, we're just waiting for them to come to us at this point, which is what you really want to do as a defender. But in this situation, you should play. You're in an aggressive position. You can't play passively in this position because you can get pushed from either of these two windows. You can get pushed from behind you in main stairs or spiral stairs farther down. You can get pushed from over here. You can get pushed from the skylight. They can be on the windows over there. They can just walk on in and kill you. Like there's so many different ways that we can die right here that we can't afford to play passively like this. We can't afford to just sit in the middle of the floor and wait for them to come to us. Then we're just gonna run away. No? And yeah. So we know that there's at least 3 of them right there in stock windows, so maybe tell our teammates that. And we know all of them but one operator because we know that they have a Zofia and an Ash. We just don't know who that last one is. So if they don't have a hard reacher, then it tells us a little more. And it looks like we're calling it out now. Call it out sooner. Make it sooner. The sooner the better. And I also noticed that you're hardly, like, one big thing is you're hardly watching the kill cams. Look at the kill cams. Like, this is gonna sound like a little bit of a mean thing for me to say, but look at the kill cams and look at how stupid you look in them. See how horrible of a position that you're holding and how easy it was for them to kill you, and maybe that'll show you how you need to play these positions. Because like I said, you're just sitting in the middle here, like a sitting duck, waiting for them to come and kill you. And if you don't play aggressive, you're gonna die to anything, aggressive or passive behavior from the attackers, because it's just in their nature. So you watching that kill cam and watching them just be like, oh look, Amazi's sitting in the middle of the floor. dead. Maybe they'll wake you up, realize, oh wow, I was kind of in the middle of the open there, had nothing to do, no idea what I was doing, no idea what to aim at, and then they just blonked me in the head with no information. Like, watch the kill cams. Biggest thing to take away from that is just watch the kill cams. And he's dead.
One friendly remaining.
There's Blackbeard. Why are you surrendering again? I honestly feel bad for your team in that, because you spent a majority of the rounds waiting until the last few seconds to actually pick your operator that you're going to pick, and most of the time, or not most of the time, I should say about like 20 to 30% of the time, you just didn't get the operator you wanted to get. There's like 3 rounds in there where you didn't get the operator you initially had planned on picking. So you're already putting your team at a disadvantage and not playing what you may be comfortable with, or what you maybe have a strat specific for that site, and now all of a sudden you can't do it, so now you have to come up with a new idea. So that's one thing. Another thing is that you don't seem to care if you're gonna win or lose, but yet you want to win. You can't simultaneously want to climb out of copper without caring about really easy fixes for stuff like this. Like, just simply paying attention to the game and playing it will help you climb out. Like, crazy. I know. Watching your kill cams is another huge thing. I don't think there is any kill cams. If I were to go back here, I think maybe 1 or 2 of the kill cams you actually watch. And that was probably because of was it the fuse one where you were Mozzie and the fuse killed you? You're probably thinking, how is that not a headshot? Well, it was very obviously not a headshot. Going back and rewatching it, you may see that now, but maybe in the moment you're like, well, how the hell was that not a headshot? But you just need to aim a little higher in that regard. But watching kill cams, or number one, paying attention to the game and working to get the win. Like, play to have fun. Don't care about rank too much, but if you want to win, play to win. Easy as that. Number 2 would be watch kill cams. Figure out what you're doing wrong. See how stupid you look, and then you'll fix that later on. Another big thing would be trying to coordinate with your team more. Or no, number 3 would probably be droning. Figuring out where you're actually going to drone, how you're going to drone, and figuring out their positions. Because every single time on attack, we just walked into sight and we had no idea where anyone was playing at any point in the game, which was sad, really. Like, there's no reason that we should walk into sight ever without knowing their exact positions, or roughly who's playing on site at least and where they could be playing at. The fact that majority of those rounds were won simply because you or your teammates had a better reaction time does not bode well for you at all. That's why you're in copper, is you're playing like a copper. Number 4 would probably be aim at head height. Pick either, at this point, pick head or crouch or prone, one of the 3, and just aim there. Don't aim in between. Aim at one of those, preferably crouch or head height, and then once you get higher, preferably head height, and then flick to any of the other 2 that you need. But it's basic stuff like that. I can't really say a whole lot on your callouts because I can't hear your callouts. So I have no idea if you're making like the best callouts ever when you were talking, but I can tell you one thing, is that you should probably talk more often and quicker. The soonest that you die, speak, tell them what's going on. If you don't, then there's just more time there for your teammates to die. Like, you're giving your teammates room to die, and you don't want to do that. But yeah, I think that's about it. There's a lot more glaring stuff, but those are like the biggest things that you can work on that'll help you get better. And like I've gone through on this, as I'm going through, like I just tell you, like, oh, okay, you could do this, now you could do this, now you could do this. Like, there's a lot of things that you're doing wrong that's just simple and basic. Like, drone in, you do that perfectly fine, and then you just keep walking in without droning ahead of you, and then you start droning. You waste that time of crouch walking around, and then you go back on your drone. Like, you should just Once you clear out a room, you go in it. Okay, drone again. Go to the next room. Okay, that's clear. I run up to that, kill whoever's there, or I continue on because there's no one there. Drone the next spot. Like it should just be constantly just step 1, drone. Step 2, walk to where you droned or run to where you drone. Step 3, find a safe position. Step 4, drone again. Step 5, kill or move on to the next position that you want to take up. Kill the person in the position that you want to take up, or just go up, run up to that position and take it up. This right here will make, and just repeat this over and over and over again. This will make you so much quicker within the rounds. Like you will be in sight or next to sight within the first minute and a half of the round and be waiting for your teammates to come in. And that makes it a lot easier because then gunfights happen sooner. You can recover from them and figure out what your game plan is afterwards, or figure out your game plan before you get into gunfights and plant the bomb or kill them all. Whatever one it is, do that. Yeah, that's about all I got for you.